Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Emmy, and I am married with 2 children. I have a son who is 5 years old and a daughter who is 1. I started this budgeting channel because I wanted to track my family's journey on becoming debt-free and financially stable. We are currently in over $100,000 worth of debt, and our spending habits are we could be better with how we spend our money. So I created this channel so I can make videos on how to hold ourselves accountable, how we can keep track of what it is that we spend and what it is that we save, so we can hopefully get out of debt soon and learn to be more financially responsible. So if budgeting content is something you enjoy watching, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I would love to have you be part of my family's journey. Please like this video if you like videos like this, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. So today we're going to get started with our April budget. Today is currently Thursday, March 24th, but because my husband gets paid on the 25th of every month, it just works out for my family if I budget from the 25th to the 25th of every month. So even though today is March 24th, our April month begins tomorrow, March 25th, and it goes until April 24th. So here I have my monthly spread. I printed this out from My Life Plans on Etsy, and I'll link her shop down below, this monthly overview spread. And what I did is I whited out the dates to write down the dates that work for me and my family. Like I said, the 25th to the 24th. And then I decorated this kit using some stickers that I made myself. This pattern I drew myself on Procreate and made them into stickers. And then these little labels I've created myself as well, just to kind of mark pay dates and bills that are coming out this month. And I also plan on using other labels for different colors to mark spending that's going to happen this month. I also decorated using different stickers from the Happy Planner sticker books. Just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit more. So I thought this was nice. It's an April showers themed kit. That's what I did for my whole month. And if something like this, like these types of stickers, are something that you're interested in, please leave me a comment. I do enjoy making stickers for myself, and I've considered opening up an Etsy shop. So leave me a comment if budgeting stickers or planning stickers is something that you're interested in. I might get on that. Might make an Etsy shop for me. So anyway, this is my monthly overview. Right now I'm going to try marking every time we spend something, like for food or our allowance or gas, just so I can have a visual of when we spend our money. Currently, I keep track of all of our transactions on an Excel spreadsheet, but I think if I can visually see it all laid out, that might be helpful as well. So we're going to give that a try this month. And moving on to the actual April budget, make sure you're in frame. Yeah. So like I said, I created these stickers with this little rainy day or April showers theme here. I created this myself. I did the little doodles, and I have the different categories for what it is that I use in my budgeting sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down all these stickers for the overall monthly budget and the paychecks that we have for this month, and I will be right back. Hi everyone, sorry about that. It is actually the next day. It is Friday, March 25th. My daughter ended up waking up from her nap and my son got home from school, so dinner had to be made, and it was a lot yesterday. So I'm here filming the next day, but I wanted to show you everything I put down. I put down all of my stickers and I went ahead and filled out everything for April. So I wanted to zoom you in and kind of walk you through what was going on here. Okay, so my husband's paycheck, I'm budgeting it to be about the same as last month. I'm getting paid 3 times this month. Woo woo, that's awesome. And I know for a fact that my paycheck, well, yesterday when I wrote this down, I knew I worked some overtime, so I budgeted a little bit more, but I actually got my check today, and so did my husband, so I can write those actual amounts today since those hit our bank account. But I'm not sure for the next 2 paychecks whether I'll be getting some overtime, so I just went ahead and put the minimum amount that I expect to make for those pay periods. I did get our state tax returns in March, but I did not get our federal tax return yet. So since I filed for our taxes in February, I was really hoping to get all of them, or the state and federal, in March. But since I didn't get federal yet, I'm going to go ahead and budget that we'll get it in April. Hopefully we'll get that in April. And sinking funds, that's actually a very conservative amount. We might use more than $100 of sinking funds this month because we used about 200 or so. I don't remember the exact number for March, but April is my birthday, so I expect we use a little bit of the gift sinking fund for that. Let's see, bills, pretty much the same as last month. A couple of things have gone up. Internet has increased, our car insurance premium has increased. The power and water bills, I don't know how much that's going to be for April yet. I'm assuming that they're going to be a little bit lower just because things have been warming up and so we haven't been using the heat as much. But since I don't have those bills yet, I just wrote down what it is that we paid for March, just budgeted the exact same thing for April. All of the bills comes out to $1,033.06. Subtract that from my projected income, which again, this is a very high amount left over because of the tax return that I'm expecting. So once I have all of that left over, I move on to debts. Let's stop and talk for a minute. I love this pen. It's a great pen. It's the Energel Clena, and it's a 0.5 gel pen. I love this pen so much. The only problem is it's not an erasable pen, and I know a lot of budgeters out there really enjoy their erasable pens because, duh, numbers change all the time. However, the only erasable pen I've ever used was the Friction pen, and this is the kind that clicks right here on the side. I've seen different budgeters use other pens where like the cap comes off, and I don't know. I don't really like this erasable pen. It's just a little bit too thick for my liking. This is a 0.7 and I much prefer the 0.5. If you have any recommendations of a good erasable gel pen, please leave me a comment down below because I'm interested in trying some out that work best with my handwriting and, you know, the style of writing that I have, which is usually a thinner what's it called, you know, pen point. So yeah, leave me a comment of your recommendations for the best erasable pen because this whiteout is just everywhere and it's disgusting, so I apologize. Okay, so whited out all that stuff, but the minimum payments for all of the debts in April comes out to $1,460.67. When I subtract that from the leftover, I'm left with $12,967.07. So I move on over here to the expenses. These are basically like our cash envelopes. That's what I consider our expenses, the things that There aren't bills, they aren't debts, but they need to happen every month. So food includes groceries and eating out. I kind of combine them into one category here. And for the entire month of April, I budgeted $950, which is a lot more than what I've been budgeting for the past couple months. For two reasons. We keep going over budget, so obviously we're spending a lot. And just the prices of things are going up. So I was budgeting $200 per week. But I think now I've changed it to where it is $230 per week. And then since the month of April has 4 weeks plus a couple of extra days, I just kind of rounded that up to $950 for the whole month. My husband gets $100 of spending money a week, and then because there's a little bit of extra days in April, I just rounded that to, so it would be $450 for the month. I get $75 per week because I work from home and my husband does not. He is more likely to go out and spend something when I'm at home most of the time, so I'm not really tempted to stop for fast food or anything. I do like spending money though, because every once in a while I do want to treat myself to a coffee. So I get $335 for the month of April. For gas and transportation, I upped that. This is definitely way more than I think we're going to spend, but I'd much rather over budget than under budget. Because gas is going up, it costs around $60 for my husband and I to fill up our cars. And we end up filling up, my husband about once per week, and I fill up about once every week and a half or so, maybe every 2 weeks. But I budgeted for my husband and I to fill up once per week for all of April, and that comes up to $480. So hopefully we won't be spending all of that, but there it is just in case. Like I said, I expect to spend $100 in sinking funds, and I never budget anything for unbudgeted. And our total expenses for April comes to $2,315. Subtract that from the leftover, we are left with $10,652.07. So, leaving us with savings. Every time my husband and I swipe our debit card, or anytime a transaction is made through our checking account, such as bills being paid, etc., a tiny percentage comes out of those purchases and gets moved to our savings account. It's something that Wells Fargo had us sign up for when we opened our checking account. It's not something that we chose to have, but it's nice because, you know, every little bit gets moved to our savings and it's fine. So in the month of March, we had $12 move to our savings account just based off of all of our purchases in March. So I expect about the same for April, about $12 being moved to savings. I really want to put $100 towards my car because I wasn't able to do that for March. So I'm budgeting to put $100 saving up for a car. And sinking funds. I expect to put $7,000 of our federal tax return towards our travel sinking fund, and that's money that we are putting away to take my mother on a trip to Japan. I am actually half Japanese. My mother is full Japanese, and she has not been to Japan since before I was born, and she just can't really afford to go, and she has family over there, so my husband and I really wanted to take her to Japan. Right now, it's not looking like that's going to happen anytime soon because of a lot of the quarantine things that are happening when you travel to different countries, but we're going to put the money aside so whenever all those quarantine restrictions are lifted, we can go. So $7,000 of that is going away for travel for my mom's Japan trip, and then the rest of that, the $1,940, that's going to be for April's sinking funds, and it's also going to be for May's sinking funds, and that's because my third paycheck that I'm getting is only going to cover like 3 days of a week, and then that money is also going to have to cover some May expenses. So since it's going to have to cover some May expenses, I was going to use my third paycheck to just go ahead and fill the sinking funds. So sinking funds twice, plus the $7,000 for my mom's Japan trip. That is $8,940 towards sinking funds. And then that leaves a savings of $9,052. Subtracting that from the leftover is $1,600.07. If we stay on budget and everything goes to plan, all of that is going to be thrown towards my Capital One credit card. Let's hope, because I am sick and tired of this Capital One credit card. So that's what I expect to put towards that card. So kind of walking you through paycheck by paycheck here. So paycheck number 1 is from March 25th through April 7th. And for that paycheck, we are just expecting my husband's income, my income, hopefully our federal tax refund. And this is around the time where I think we're going to be spending the $100 from our sinking funds. So all of that comes to $13,280.80 in projected income. Most of our bills come out during the beginning of the month, so you can see most of our bills are listed here. We have 2 minimum payments for our debts, our house and our Wells Fargo credit card, that come out during this pay period. For each paycheck, I've broken it up so that way there's $460 for food because I'm budgeting $230 per week. So this 2-week period gets $460, $200 for my husband, $150 for me, $240 for gas, the $100 from the sinking funds. And during this first paycheck, this is where I fill in the sinking funds. I'm going to do a completely separate video about sinking funds, but just really quick, I wanted to show you what I planned on putting towards our sinking funds. For health, I wanted to up how much I'm putting. I'm putting $300 this month. We have a lot of health bills that are coming in, not just for my daughter because she is 1 year old and babies get sick all the time, but my husband actually recently took an allergy test. His allergies really bother him during the springtime, and taking an allergy test plus all the prescriptions that he needs after he took that test, it's a lot of bills that are coming in. So I wanted to go ahead and fill that health sinking fund to help pay for those things. $100 towards gifts, that's for birthdays and anniversaries and all those things. $100 towards Christmas, $100 towards entertainment. That's if we want to go to the movies or, I don't know, take the kids to a trampoline park or something. We would use the entertainment fund for that. Putting $20 away for car taxes, $100 for car maintenance. It usually would not be this high for car maintenance, but my husband's car does need new tires soon, so we're trying to increase that sinking fund so we can use the funds to pay for his tires. $150 towards kids. That's double what I usually put for kids, but my son needs some new shoes. My daughter is growing out of her clothes so quickly, and it's Easter, so I want to make sure I get them some nice things for their Easter basket. So I have a little bit more in their sinking fund this month. Personal care is $50. Like I said, I wanted to put $7,000 away for travel. That's coming mostly from our federal tax refund. And my cat is getting $50, so that way we can pay for any medical expenses he might have, plus cat food and toys and all those things. So all those sinking funds total up to $7,970. If I don't put away that $7,000 for travel, it's just a normal $970. So I'm going to put $970 away for May as well on my 3rd paycheck. Anyway, so with all of that, when you subtract the bills, the debts, expenses, and savings from my projected income, we have a rollover amount of $2,185.19. So I roll that over into the next paycheck, which looks like this. Rollover $2,185.19. My paycheck minimum projected amount. I don't expect us to use any sinking funds. I don't expect any other income. We have very few bills for this pay period, just water, Apple, and Acorns, which I'm really upset. I tried logging in to Acorns to delete this account as well. I thought my husband was just being lazy, not wanting to delete this account, but it will not let me delete it. Like, I see this spinning wheel of death forever, and it's like not letting me delete it. And so I'm being charged again $3 for an account that I'm not even using anymore. So I need to call them or maybe try logging on by a computer or something, but this is upsetting. But all of that, just $55.99 in bills this pay period. Minimum payments of debts, my Capital One credit card, and my husband's car payment. So then we move on to expenses. The remaining $460, $200, $150, $240 for all of those. Don't expect any sinking funds. Don't budget for unbudgeted. So $1,050 in expenses. And for savings, I project that from this paycheck plus the previous pay period that my savings account will have accumulated $7 just from every time a transaction happens. $7 will be moved over. And then for this pay period, this is where I want to put $100 away towards my car. So $107 expected towards savings, which leaves a remainder of $1,600.07, which should be rolled over into the last paycheck of the month. So here's the last paycheck. And like I said, I get paid on the 22nd, and then I'm only lasting just a couple of days because once it becomes April 25th, that's when a new month starts for us, because that's when my husband gets paid. So since this is only covering a couple of days, a lot of these numbers are going to be significantly smaller. So I wrote down our rollover, what I expect to be paid, no sinking funds, no other income, so a projected budgeted income of $2,690.07. We have no bills coming out during those few days, but I do want to put anything that's left over towards my Capital One credit card. I was hopeful in thinking that we might have something left over to put towards our Wells Fargo credit card, but I don't think we will. Like, I think whatever's left over will go towards Capital One, and we still have a balance on that Capital One credit card after the fact, which sucks, but anyway. So after I pay whatever's left over, the expenses for this last paycheck, because it's only a couple of days, $30 for food, $50 for my husband's allowance, $35 for me, and that totals $115. This is where I expect the remaining $5 to be put into our savings account, and this is where I'm stuffing the May's sinking funds, $970, using my paycheck. So after all of that, all those savings, I should be left over with $0, because when I subtract the bills, the debts, the expenses, and the savings from my projected income, it all comes out to $0. Hooray, zero-based budget. We like that. Okay, so that is it. That is my basic plan for April, and I'm hoping that everything just goes according to plan this month, because things did not go according to plan for March. Thank you so much if you stuck around this far. I know I kind of went through it pretty quickly, but I didn't want this video to take forever. If I went too fast and you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. If anything I said doesn't make sense, let me know. And thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.